guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes and
Moose Mike.
So welcome back to all our returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give us a thumbie. They are free, so you are here on a Thursday, and if you're new, every Thursday means
Tile of the week, Thursday.
And you literally just burst my eardrum. If you don't know what Tile of the Week Thursday is, over a year ago, I got this book from my Amazon wishlist in Happy Mail from a dear, dear friend of mine. It is 100 Crochet Tiles, edited by Sarah Callard. And me, without thinking, got overexcited when opening this on camera, and I publicly pledged for the whole of YouTube to see that I was going to make every single tile one a week until they were done. Everyone laughed at me for a couple of days until the penny dropped that this would take the best part of 2 years. We've been doing it over a year already, guys. So, and it's just completely escaped me what number we're on.
55.
55. Are you sure? I thought it was 56.
55.
I'm pretty sure last week was 55.
Let's get counting.
I will. Bear with. Should do this before I come on, and I never do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are on 56. I was correct.
Oh.
Okay, so this week's tile was called Annie. Oh my goodness. Designer Rosina Plain. And it's our first sojourn into Mosaic. That's a fancy word you don't know.
It is.
It is. I know this. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like, guys. Our first ever Mosaic. Please excuse the shaking hands. Okay, you know this channel is all about honesty, right? I don't hide nothing from you. I am on a little bit of a time crunch today for other things, and it's been a bit of a hectic one already. And I, in my not so great wisdom, thought the best way I can achieve all that I need to do is drink an energy drink. Manfa doesn't drink energy drinks, and she doesn't take in caffeine because caffeine does not react with Manfa how it does normal folks. I have probably had about 5 mouthfuls, and I am. So, if I'm a little off today, it is because I'm running high on caffeine, which normal people would need to drink alcohol or take illegal substances. Manfa just needs caffeine. So I apologise if I'm a little bit squirrely today, but that's what's going on because I need to get everything done for the channel. It's my day off. I'm back to work tomorrow. So anyway, so yes, first experience of Mosaic for Mike. I have done Mosaic in the past, but it's been a little while since I have done any. And it is the style of Mosaic that I am used to. So it is overlay that I am used to. It's inset that I haven't tried. She wanted 4 colours of a lightweight 3 or DK weight and a 3.5mm hook. Now Mike and I did use the recommended weight. We did use 4 colours, but we didn't use a 3.5. We used a 4 because that is our most natural, comfortable hook that we do the majority of these tiles in. I was a little intimidated, if you remember last week's video, that she wanted 4 colours. All the Mosaic I have done in the past, I've only had 1 main colour and 1 other colour throughout the whole design. And I haven't done a lot of Mosaic in the round. Most of the Mosaic I've done has just been backwards and forwards, where you snip off at the end of the row, and then you reattach at the other end and just keep snipping off. This time we just dropped the yarn and picked up the other one, and then dropped that one and picked up the other one. So there is a slight stagger on the back of the tile, but that's fine. It took maybe a little bit for us to warm up and get into, but once we kind of got the flow of what was expected of us, I think we did pretty well. I will let Mike talk about his experience in a minute. Because like I said, it is the first time he's done it. I did make a couple of boo-boos in mine, which I will explain in a second when I show you. I didn't have to look at the chart. I did it all by the written instructions. For me, the written instructions were really clear and concise and understandable. So Rosina must get her patterns read through and tested before publishing them. Which makes a real good change from a couple of the other designers that have submitted designs into this book. And if you've been here, there you go. If you've been here a while, you know the two that are guilty of that. But Rosina has written a really lovely pattern for me to follow, and I was able to follow it. Now, we did have to do 3 sittings on this one. It is 20 rounds. The first day we got 8 rounds done. The second day we got another 10 rounds, which is the last of the mosaicness, and then we just had 2 border rounds each to do, and we did that on a third day, but independently of each other. Mike has had this week off work, so he was able to pick it up on Monday when I was at work, and he did his border rows, and then later that night I did my border rows, because it wasn't in the mosaic style, it was a generic border round, or 2 of them, which you were more than capable of doing without, you know, me being there and kind of assisting or explaining. They have turned out pretty big. I think I now know why she recommended a 3.5mm, because they are huge. Mine is bigger than Mike's. Mike's is actually a lot neater than mine, and he actually did all of the mosaic correct. It was Manfa that boo-booed this time. But you've got to understand that how we normally do these tiles is I'm sat with the pattern in my hand, and I'm having to read it, decipher it, figure out what it is they're asking me to do. I'm then having to explain it to Mike in a way that he is going to understand. And because I'm checking the pattern, making sure he's knowing what needs to be done, when it comes to me putting my stitches in, I am quite distracted. I'm not wholly focused on my own work. Not that that's an excuse, but it's just kind of giving you a background of why maybe I messed mine up a little bit, because I'm having to do multiple things rather than just whip it out. We both went completely different in colour scheme, and I'll show you mine with the boo-boos, and then Mike can chat for a minute about his experience. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And that is mine. Now, it's very blown out because I've used really bright colours. It is actually a hot pink and orange in there, with a little turquoisey blue and a little bit of a beigey colour as well. So on the surface of it, just having a quick look here, you might think, well, I can't see any boo-boos. Let me point them out to you, because again, we're all about honesty on this channel, and I don't want to come on here pretending that my tiles are perfection every time when they're really not. So the first issue, and I can't even find it now. Where did we do that chain where we shouldn't have? Here. So if you look here where my finger is, this orange stitch here should not be there, and that is the chain up to start this orange row here. Now, I didn't realise that that chaining should be on the back so that it doesn't appear on the front of your work. So that is a boo-boo of mine, but I quickly realised that that shouldn't be showing and that I don't need to do that. I need to do the opposite. So from this point on,
But I have that one as well, because we didn't realise.
Yeah. So there is an extra little bloop here, but you know, from back here, are you really going to notice it? Not really. And then the other boo-boo I made, let me find one that's fine. This cross here has all these little dots inside, so this one is correct. This one is correct. But then this one, I forgot a hole down here. and this one I forgot a hole down here. So I have 2 extra stitches where I shouldn't, because they should all look like this one that my finger is pointing to. But again, on the face of it, we're not using these for anything, guys, and unless you really, really look for it, you're not going to notice. You are now, because I pointed it out to you, but that is for interests of me being completely honest about my work and mistakes that I have made. That is what the back looks like. It's also pretty funky. And just a little side note, which I'm sure Mike will go into a bit when he talks about his, is Mosaic looks really intimidating. It looks really intricate, it looks really intense, it looks really hard. And I get that, because you have such an intricate pattern, you know, being made within your work. But I honestly, guys, if you can chain, if you can single crochet in the back loops, and you can double crochet in the back loops, and also your doubles have to drop down a row or 2 below. If you can single, double and chain, you can mosaic. And that is what I said to Mike before he even started doing this tile, before he even picked it up and started working on it. I'm like, don't be intimidated. It is singles, doubles and chains. You can do all of that, and you've done it a million times over. It's just a different way of placing your stitches in order for that pattern to materialise within your work. And very quickly, I think it was probably by about round 4-ish, Mike was already seeing where some of his stitches needed to go on the next round, and he was also working out in his head why some of the techniques we were doing within this we were doing, because he could see how the pattern was going to fall in a couple of more rows time. So Mike was intimidated, but I don't think he is anymore, but that's for him to discuss. But honestly, if you can do those basic stitches, guys, you can do mosaic. Please don't be put off trying it, because it is actually quite a lot of fun. It is labour intensive, I think that's fair to say, and it is slow going, but the results are definitely worth it, and that's just my opinion. So give it a go. Always give it a go before you write it off and not even try it. Anyway, over to you,
my
Mike.
opinion as well. The finished product is amazing, or looks amazing, considering what stitches you were doing.
It looks really impressive for how basic those stitches are. Yeah.
Yes. And for me, it clicked into my brain when I was doing the red. So on mine it's red.
We'll show them. So the pattern, to create the pattern, it was the red for Mike. Mine was the orange.
So mine's got the grey in the middle, then the sort of aqua blue, even though it don't look like that on the camera, and
I'll
obviously
take a
the
picture.
red. And this is actually a variegated white, but you can't really see it because it's so
consolidated
inside. It's not. They're really pale colours.
Yeah.
So, and then I've got the blue and the grey on the border. But yeah, I actually do have. Where is it?
The chain job.
The chain there.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's absolutely fine.
Because Manfa caught it and realised and changed it going forward.
So there you go. There's mine. But yes, as I was saying, it clicked into my brain when I was doing the red, because it reminded me of brickwork. So like the mortar.
Yes.
And
where you would need to put those.
Yeah.
To make that pattern
and
grow.
Every row or every next row or round, I was like, well, that needs to go there, because it can't go anywhere else, otherwise it won't look right. And
I think it clicked when I said, because we're working in the back loop, you're leaving that front loop open so that it's a live stitch, so that if you need to drop down from the row above, you have got that live open stitch for that stitch to drop down into. And as soon as I said that, Mike goes, I get it.
And I did really well for my first one, I believe.
I think he did awesome. There weren't any mantrams. There was one moment where I did say, I can't remember what it was, whether it was the count was off or something. Regardless, he said, oh, well, I've messed it up and I'm not going to bother then. And I said, well, hang on. I have got the ability to fudge. And then I was telling him some of the basics of fudging. Like, if you haven't got enough stitches on one side, you just put an extra one in a couple of places till you have got the right stitch count. Or if you have too many, crochet them together to reduce your stitches on the next round. So we are able to fudge. And
I
you
get
can,
frustrated because
yeah,
I want it to be perfect.
yeah. But Mike really does need to kind of get over that a little bit, because I don't think there's many projects even I make to this day where I haven't had to fudge it at least once or twice. Because who wants to frog back 300 stitches just to fix that one stitch that's slightly off? Do you know what I mean? So I think Mike slowly is getting his head around the fact that it can be fudged and it's okay to fudge. Tell us down in the comments that you agree that it is okay to fudge, so that Mike can get over this perfectionism that he's got going on. Because I used to be like that, very much so in the beginning. I wanted it to be correct. I wanted it to be to the, you know, right to the T. It had to be exact. And now I'm like, if it looks pretty much like it's supposed to and I've made it work, that's good enough for me. Especially now I've got the channel and I've got so much that I need to be working on. So, but I think, do you agree with everything I said about it looking intimidating, but it really isn't?
When you look at it on the picture and you think, how the hell did they do that? But
your brain cannot clearly see what they are doing in there.
No. And you think they've got...
But when you're building it up...
So in my brain, when I looked at that, I thought they've got all these colours going on around, and you're carrying them all to do all the... But no.
No. It was a little bit fiddly, having to drop the yarn and leave it and always be connected, always having the two colours connected, which you struggled with when we were carrying yarn on another tile that we did. And it is faffy, and you do get tangled, and you do need to keep swapping your yarns over. But very much after about row 6, and bearing in mind it's a 20 round tile, by about row 6, he was just instinctively and naturally switching his yarns around, because he knew he was now going on to the other ones, so he had to flip them over so they didn't get tangled. He was doing it without even thinking. It was becoming automatic pilot. So I think there was a lot learned in this one for Mike, as in a new technique and a new style and a new aesthetic to crochet, but also...
And I actually enjoy doing this one.
Yeah, but also with the not getting your yarns tangled and having more than one colour attached and more than one string to have to concentrate on, and not pulling it too tight so you lose the loop of the colour that you're waiting for next time, because the yarn is live and working throughout the whole thing. Just because you're not on that colour for that round, you need it again for the next one. So if you pull too hard and you lose that loop, you're going to have to frog and possibly do a couple of rounds.
Yeah. But I did alright.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I don't think I could do it constantly.
So you wouldn't do like a big blanket of it just yet?
Oh, well, I could probably do it, but it would take me forever. And I'm not one for projects that take too long.
But we have got several mosaic tiles in this section of the book. I think we have at least half a dozen, if not more, and I do believe it is more. So we might find as we go along that mosaic does become a point of interest for Mike, and he might actually delve in it later on in the future. You're very much set on your hugs at the moment, which is wonderful. But eventually you are going to run out of people that you need to gift a hug to. So it's nice that you're trying these other things for when that time comes. Or if you get to a stage where you can't find a shawl pattern that you want to do, or you haven't got the right colour yarn for the person you want to make a hug for, but we haven't got the money to buy it just yet, there might be a mosaic project that he wants to do in the interim. So yeah, actually a positive tile of the week this week.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know how it was going to be because Mike's never done it before, so I was very anxious last week. A, am I going to be able to remember? B, am I going to be able to explain? Because I can read the instructions off the page to Mike, and most of the time, just by reading them, he understands them. But there are some times where I'll go, and I'm just plucking stuff out of the air now. 2 halves, 3 doubles, 4 singles, and then slip. For Mike, he'll get the 2 halves and the 3 doubles, but then he'll forget the last bit, and then I'll have to remind him. Or he'll go, whoa, hang on, slow down. That's way too big of a chunk of instruction. Let's just do it. So I have learned that when I am conveying the information to him, I need to do it bit by bit.
But also, once we've done that bit by bit...
we only have to go round one side, one edge.
one side, I'm like, boom.
Once we've done that one edge, and I'm like, so repeat another 3 times, away he goes. You know, which is absolutely incredible.
I think for me, to get it stuck in here, I have to do it.
Physically has to make it, and then he'll be able to remember it. Or he's able to look back at the side he's just done with me and figure it out for the other sides going around. And that's just how we work it, really. So although Mike is doing all of these tiles, he's not actually being the one reading the patterns for himself. I'm reading them and explaining them to him. So I think it will be interesting as time goes on when he has got patterns of his own to work from. Because when you are doing that, especially like with the hug now, he will pass it to me and just say, babe, read that round. Am I right in thinking I need to do X, Y, Z? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, you got it. Or I'm like, well, X and Y are correct, but actually with Z you need to. And we kind of bounce off each other in order for Mike to be able to achieve what he needs to achieve. But that's all part of the learning process, and there are still some of you guys watching that can't read patterns or follow charts. So, you know, your crochet experience should always expand. You should always, you know, throw yourself out your comfort zone from time to time. And I really do highly recommend that you give Mosaic a good couple of goes before you go, I'm not doing that.
I do as well, because, I mean, look at the outcome.
Yeah.
And that's just one tile. Imagine doing a more intricate pattern, but the same stitches as this.
Yeah.
For a big blanket, just it will look amazing.
It is. And Mosaic is just breathtaking, in my opinion. I think it's so clever. So clever.
And so simple stitches.
Simple stitches that create such a beautiful, stunning piece to look at. Definitely. Please do check out my community tab when you have finished watching this video, because the lovely Josephine is still joining in alongside us, and she has submitted this week's photo as well, so please go and check out her beautiful work. I will take a picture of our tiles as well so that you can get a better likeness for the colours we actually use, because my camera's rubbish on colours, which is useless for a crochet channel really, because yarn's very colourful, but you know, we work with what we've got. So yeah, go and check out Josephine's, give her some love and encouragement and tell her what a good job that she did. I think she had to frog a few times before again she got into the mindset of what she was doing, but once it clicked, away she went, and she did absolutely marvellously. There are lots of other people doing this with us as well, guys. It was never started as a crochet along, but a lot of our lovely friends jumped in and wanted to support us along the way. I am not going to list them because I always end up forgetting somebody, which is mean. So if you want to know who else is doing this, in your YouTube search bar, please do put hashtag Tile of the Week Thursday, and anybody who has used that hashtag in a community tab post or a video description, they will pop up. With us being on week 56, guys, there is hours upon hours upon hours of tile material. I will try and link our playlist down below for our previous tiles if you want to go back and have a look at some of them. But do check out the other guys and girls doing this, and give their channels some love and support by watching a few of their videos. I would really appreciate it. Come back tomorrow for Crochet Catch Up, where we will explain all of the wonderful crochet we have managed to get done this week. And then Saturday, we are hoping to go live as normal because the boys are with their dad this weekend, so we have got a quieter household. And there might just be a little bit of a yarn haul for you to look at. So stay tuned. There is daily content here at Manfa's Makes. You will always have something to watch from us on a daily basis. But until we see you tomorrow,
stay safe.
be kind.
Look after one another.
Get some good quality time with your loved ones.
Please, please, please try new projects.
Yes. Get some good quality crafting time. We will see you in the next one.
Or around the YouTube streets.
Bye guys. Love ya.